determine.
No, you don't have your
Yeah,
whole
she
life.
does.
You don't have your whole
You're
life.
20, girl.
Yeah.
Like,
You
date
don't
around,
have her
like,
whole
see
life.
what you like, you know.
Nope,
and,
don't
like,
date
Isn't it
around.
enough that I
yeah,
just
date
didn't
around
like that?
multiple
Like,
men at the same
you know,
time.
No,
people-
don't date multiple
Don't do
men
that.
Yes,
at the same time.
At the same time.
That is
Without having
wrong.
sex.
Don't do that.
Of
Wait.
course. Can I say sex?
Yeah, you can say sex.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I just think about this one TikToker. I don't know his name, but he just talks about how, like, back in the day, men used to be like the chasers and the pursuers so much more. Like, you had multiple men knocking on one woman's like door, and she could pick and choose, and like her and her family could pick and choose. Doesn't mean she was seeing them seriously, but I don't know, I feel like the ball is more like so in like the women's court, and like the women should be pursued, if that makes sense. And I don't see anything wrong with women seeing many men, as long as she's very clear about her intentions and that she's doing that. Do you agree? I mean, that's how it used to be. There was like...
Well, I mean, there's a couple things. So first off, I don't know if TikTok is the best source for historical dating information, but you have something, and I'll respond. Go ahead.
So this is maybe a little off topic, but like when we're looking at science, and we're going way back in the day, like way back at the beginning of human evolution, there was actually studies that found that the human species as a whole was not scientifically meant to be monogamous, right? So there's scientific evidence that supports the reason why like females are able to orgasm multiple times is because they were supposed to go with multiple partners. And literally
What?
the shape,
Oh my God, fuck.
and the shape of the man's
need some,
head is literally shaped like that to scoop out
Sorry,
competitor
guys, we have a
sperm,
really bad
right? Because just like in the race of which sperm is going to be able to fertilize
Sorry,
the
guys,
egg,
we had a really
it
bad
was the
spill.
same thing with male competitors back in the day in the beginning of evolution, right? So whoever had the strongest sperm, whoever had the strongest genetics, right? Whoever's genes were going to be able to survive longer and benefit the human race more were the ones that were actually able to meet the egg and fertilize. But nowadays we have society, we have civilization, we have all these other things and all these other standards that monogamy has just kind of become a part of it, right? Which there's nothing wrong. I mean, humans in general are a very social species, and we do need to be around each other. You take someone, you put them in solitary confinement, you don't let them see anyone, they're gonna go crazy, they're gonna lose their minds, and they're just not gonna know how to socialize with anyone, right? And that's kind of how we people are. And we have it in our heads now that we need to find someone, we need to do this, we need to do this, and we just need to settle down and everything. But when in all reality, when you're looking for a relationship, instead of looking for, oh, is this a high value man? Is this this? Is this this? Think of, is this person going to support me? Is this person going to stand by me? Am I going to be able to financially, emotionally, and just in general grow with this person to raise kids, to start a future, to stay steady in life? Instead of looking at all these things, oh, he had one Tinder account, think, okay, later down the line, is that Tinder account gonna stay? Because like she said, we are young and things do happen, and there is time to change and fix things and grow in a relationship.
Oh, can I say something in response to what you just said?
Yes.
The first thing is, which one of the sexes get pregnant?
The female.
The female. Okay, so according to sexual selection theory, you're not quite wrong, but you're not accurate in what you just described. And I'm gonna tell you why. Sexual selection theory. The sex that has the babies, they have more parental investment.
Yes.
So it's not the men. So it's maternal investment, right? Sperm competition is what you're referring to. Yes, but women didn't necessarily select multiple men to sleep with. The further back you go, the more animalistic we were, right? So that means men went on to women. Like, I can't say the word, but that was much more of a natural occurrence in the natural world. The further back you go and the more primitive humans were. So like our testes size it speaks to sperm competition, but the woman has always been more selective than the man, and the woman has evolved to select the best mate that she sees for her. So that's why women typically get attached to one man. And most women do not date multiple men at a time. Even with her advice saying, I recommend you date multiple men, I don't even have to say anything against that, because that's not naturally the route that women are going to take. If multiple men come at a woman is going to develop feelings for one man and naturally cut the rest of the men off naturally. Even if you give the advice like date multiple women or date multiple men, she's not going to do it. even if you tell her this could be effective, this could help you try to get the dating outcomes that you want, she's still going to naturally release endorphins, hormones that's specific to one man, especially if they have sex, which speaks to her case.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200. Do not listen to the chick that cannot keep a man and has never been married, or to the fake science girl. Do not date around. Men value purity and beauty, so be that. Men are hunters, be prey.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying. We aren't naturally monogamous, but women are more monogamous than men. Men are more polygamous than women, and you see that in our physiology, our anatomical features. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm explaining. So you weren't exactly wrong about the monogamy part, but women are more monogamous than men, and women will tend to get with one man over multiple men. They don't really want to date multiple men at one time. And naturally, the behaviors that they exhibit is going to be exclusive to one man once she finds a man that she likes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like sleep around. Like if you want to, that's fine. It's not like something I'm like specifically saying. I'm just saying that like these roots that we have may be embedded into us because it is what started our whole species, right? So we could still have these feelings, and that could be why sometimes things happen. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Also, you were talking about how to look more into like, can a man support me? Can I grow with a man? But those things I kind of encompass within like a high value man. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of questions that come when you think of what is a high value man.
I feel like
and I guess I kind of just saw, I'm not saying he can't become one or someone like that can't become one. I just feel like one of the traits a high value man has, or like a partner I'm trying to attract, is self-control, and I don't really see that as self-control or maturity.
Can I hint on that too?
Yes.
I'm really curious when women say self-control as a man. Men typically, when men become high value, they may have came from a position where they weren't desirable. Mm-hmm. So if a man becomes desirable, he now has women that are approaching him, women being around him that he never would have gotten. So it's kind of unrealistic to expect a man to just know how to have sexual discipline if he wasn't exposed to beautiful women. He didn't attract beautiful women at some point in his life. So most men, when they become high value, you can look at entertainers, you can look at athletes, you can look at any guys higher on the socioeconomic ladder. When they get women around them, they typically are going to fuck a lot of those women around them. So Tinder just makes it easier for guys to exercise that option, especially if he's a desirable guy on a dating app. So when women say that, I'm like, that's not realistic to expect a man to have dick discipline, especially if he never had to learn it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
That's a very interesting point. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense.
Who is next?
Another thing though about like the Tinder profile is that his bio for the Tinder profile was Nita +1. In like days before my friend sent me that, he took me as a +1 to like a bar and with his friends. So then I was kind of like, I don't want to be one of the other +1s. I can't really assess how serious he was about that bio, or if he's using the app to seek out girls to bring as a +1 to events to bring around his friends. But I kind of saw as that's kind of embarrassing and pathetic for me. I don't want to be like one of the many girls that he brings as a +1 around his friends. Like I think that's special and like important when someone introduces you to their friends, and I kind of just didn't like that. You know, I don't want to be just one of those other ones.
Like seen as a side bitch.
Exactly.
Did you talk to him about it? Yeah. Did you have a conversation once you seen that and it gave you the ick?
I just sent it to him because also this is another thing, is that the first picture on his Tinder profile was in my old apartment. So I was kind of just like, wow, like are you like that, just kind of like rude, all of that, or I don't know. I just want to be fully respected.
I think you might be looking too much into that. I feel like girls look way more into that than guys do, because I guarantee he just saw the photo and he was like, damn, I look good. And then you're saying that and you're looking all into it and you're like, that's in my apartment.
I was just like looking at all of it, and him lying about his age on the profile, and him saying Nita +1 when I was just brought as a +1, and it being in like my old apartment. I think I just didn't want to keep talking to him after that. I don't know.
Okay.